think it's unique and fun. I mean, there's a lot of good scares. There's some really funny stuff in it.
This is ridiculous.
I really like the mashup.
Hey everybody, welcome back, and today we're talking about the Blumhouse movie Freaky, also by Universal Studios. Special thanks to them for sending me an early streamer link so I could review this movie before it came out. After swapping bodies with a deranged serial killer, a young girl in high school discovers that she has less than 24 hours before changes become permanent. And yeah, that's your basic setup. It's really simple. You got some really funny moments in this movie. I'm gonna start with the positives because that's pretty much everything in this movie to me. I mean, there's a couple little nitpicks I'll say for the end, but this movie is just damn funny. This movie reminds me of like getting together with my buddies back in college and sitting around just like drinking God knows what at 2 in the morning. Everybody's watching this movie with their buddies. This is that movie. You know, kind of like, what was that movie? Hot Rod. This is a very watchable movie. This is a crowd pleaser kind of movie. I did have some reservations. I saw Vince Vaughn and I'm like, Vince Vaughn's a serial killer. You know, kind of reminds me of like his early days of Psycho. I'm like, I don't like that. But, you know, for the most part, you know, he's kind of doing his hot chick thing, kind of like that Rob Schneider movie. But I even hate saying that in the same breath because this is a lot better than that movie. So, very simple concept. This movie comes out November 13th and it's got Kathryn Newtown. Kathryn Newtown plays Millie. She's the teenager. She's really good. I haven't seen her in anything else. I think she really carried the movie pretty well playing the Vince Vaughn character and vice versa. And Vince Vaughn, man, he's still got it. He's fun. He's running around doing that little little girl dance. I think Vince Vaughn has realized that he can't be the name above the title on the poster, but if you hide him in a movie and you make it very low key, I think that's the best way to make him work. Alan Ruck pops up in this movie. You might know him as Cameron from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. And I was reading the press notes, and they were talking about how Christopher Landon, the writer-director who did Happy Death Day, he said he wanted to make this movie feel like a John Hughes movie meets like a Sam Raimi movie, like Evil Dead Part 2. And I think he really nailed it because I really did feel like I was watching Evil Dead Part 2. I was just watching those movies over the past weekend. This really has that cheesy, funny, clever, campy, bloody action that I have never seen in movies for a long time. Like, it just doesn't exist. You know, you got that scene in Spider-Man 2 when Doc Ock comes to life and he kind of butchers everybody. It's that kind of campiness, you know? The opening of the movie is a great homage to the movie Scream. You know, it's a little campier, but there's definitely some elements that if you're a fan of Scream, you watch that opening act, it feels just like a scene from that Scream movie, and it's fantastic. I really enjoyed this movie. You know, if I was to, you know, if I had a time capsule, if I had to tell people, like, what are the best horror movies through the decades, and we got to, like, the 2020s, this is the one I would tell them, man. I'd be like, all right, the 90s, you got Scream. In the 70s, you got The Exorcist and a little bit of Halloween. In the 80s, you know, you got Sam Raimi with the Evil Dead and Freddy and Jason, all that. But in 2020, you know, we finally have like that resurgence a little bit of that campy, funny action horror movie that blends those genres so well. And yeah, I can't say more about it than that. I think this is a fantastic movie. I'm gonna give it a B+. I can't really give it too many negatives. I guess the only negatives I can give it is that you know, when you get to like that third act, it's still funny. You know, I wanted it to be worse because I wanted to make a solid point in my review, but I couldn't do it because as soon as they started doing like some lame shit, they kind of turned the boat around and got back on track. So I gotta take a sin off, as they say. Yeah, I guess like that's the only nitpick I can really give this movie is that it does slow down the third act just for the sake of being a narrative, of completing the story. And, you know, obviously it's not as fun. But, you know, when you think of any movie like these Freaky Friday kind of movies, you know, it's always the third act that's kind of boring, isn't it? I don't know what to say beyond that. I really enjoyed it. I would highly recommend it. You know, it's going to be in theaters soon, and then it's going to be on VOD. So any which way you feel most comfortable watching this movie, definitely check it out. During these trying times, I think it's kind of fun to watch a little bit of a bloody comedy, a black horror, black humor kind of movie. This was right down my alley. I thoroughly enjoyed it. The acting was decent enough. You know, it wasn't distractingly bad. Sometimes you get some high school kids and they're pretty bad. These kids were actually funny. These weren't those Jurassic World kids, those emo kids or the woke kids. They're pretty funny. And the main cast, the Kathryn Newtown and Vince Vaughn, Alan Ruck, all great. I had a blast. It was a roller coaster. It felt like Scream, Evil Dead 2, and The Breakfast Club all rolled into one. You know, I can just roll it, lick it. I'm in New Jersey. I can smoke it and have a good old time with this movie, Freaky. I'm going to give it a B+. Be sure to comment down below what you think of it, and I will see you next time.